Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Choice Live Guest Information Call. My name is Ken Webster, and I'm coming to you live from ChoiceCenter Leadership University here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you're joining us on the call tonight, chances are you were invited to participate by a friend or a family member who's been through the experience and wanted to share their outcome and what they've been going through in the last couple of weeks or over the course of a period of years here at ChoiceCenter. And so that's really what this call is all about tonight. ChoiceCenter Leadership University has been in existence since 1998 here in Las Vegas, and we offer adult and teen development and leadership courses using experiential learning to elevate our emotional intelligence, or our EQ. EQ has been a hot topic in both the media and in academic studies recently as one of the greatest predictors of personal success in any domain of our life. And that's really what we focus on here at ChoiceCenter University, is going through a series of experiential learnings, which is participation in a different variety of exercises that allow us to individually take on various aspects of our life in real time in the safety of a training room. And what it's been determined is that when we engage in experiential learning, it really increases and improves our ability not only to comprehend the material that we're learning, but also to retain it. And that's been our focus here for over 134 successful graduated leadership classes at ChoiceCenter. And what we have found when we do these guest information calls is it's most important for us to share with you, the people who have been invited on this call, the experience and success stories from some of our recent graduates and some of those who have been around the center for quite some time, by describing not only their experience, but also by looking at what their biggest learnings have been as they go through the process. And so tonight we have a number of speakers on the phone who have graciously agreed to share their experiences with us. And it's important to note that none of these folks are professional speakers unless they indicate otherwise. They're just graduates of the center who are here to express to you what their learning and experience has been. And just before we get a little bit into that, some of you may have seen on either TED Talk or read in Time Magazine or some of the other centers, some of the foundation for this work comes from a guy named Daniel Goldman, who is really one of the founders of emotional intelligence education and experiential learning. There's information on our website about him, as well as you can find information as well on TED Talks, which are fascinating and helpful in understanding what it is that we're all about here at ChoiceCenter. So without any further ado, I want to go to a couple of our graduates to talk about what their experience has been, what their greatest learning has been. They're going to share their name, their age, their occupation, and where they're calling from. And I think tonight our first caller on the line is a gentleman from the Bay Area, San Jose, I believe. George Greeley, are you on the phone? George. All right, we'll come back to George here in a minute. Our second caller on the phone is a woman named Charisse. Charisse from LV 134, a recent graduate. Charisse, are you on the call?
Hi, I'm here, guys. Hello.
Hey, Charisse, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Charisse. I live in New Jersey. I'm 28 years old, and I'm a poker massage therapist. Every time I get on this line, I'm like that. My biggest experience thus far, again, is the relationship I had with my mother. Mother currently is in the hospital right now. She's been in the hospital before for her MS and her sarcoidosis. But this time around, because of Choice, I've just been super present, and I haven't been disconnected. And I've been able to express my feelings with my mom. That was something that I was not able to do prior to going to Choice.
Thank you, Charisse. That's a beautiful story. What's your mother's response to that then?
She's just so grateful. Like, when we talk, how she reacts to me, like, her whole being is shifted. She's positive now. Prior to me going to Choice, she was negative to me because I was being negative to her. Now, anytime she talks about her ailment, I shift her. I'm like, listen, how about you don't say this, which is negative? Why don't you shift and do this? Any example, she's like, oh, I'm frustrated because of the things that I can't do that I used to be able to do. And I'm like, hey, why don't you focus on the things that you want to do and focus on doing them with my little sister? I said that to her the other day when she, like, broke down crying, and her whole being lit up. Like, everything about her shifted. And, it shifted my family totally.
That's beautiful, Sharice. Thanks for sharing, and congratulations on your recent graduation.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Let's try and go back to the Bay Area and see if George has joined us. George Greeley, are you on the call?
I am here, Ken.
Thank you, George. Go ahead.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is George Greeley. I'm 63 years old. Until recently, I was Director of Human Resources at a high-tech firm in Silicon Valley, and I decided that that's no longer something that I want to do. That's a career that I've done successfully, and I'm now moving on to nonprofits. Before I did the course, I was wondering what's next when you're 63. And I felt like I was a pilot, and I'm lowering my landing gear in the fog, and I kept wondering, where's the runway? And I felt very disconnected. I even had trouble holding my own gaze in the mirror, and that really, really bothered me. I remember being a very happy kid, but somewhere I had lost him, and I had turned into this kind of a grouchy guy. The course is a very personal experience for each individual, and I met myself in this course, and I really loved the person I met. I also discovered how other people experience me, which was something very new to me, is to see myself as other people see me. I always thought that I was a good communicator. I had a very successful career in human resources, and I discovered I was barely communicating at all. I've been playing it safe for a very long time. And I discovered that the key in my life is all about relationships. Literally everything I do involves a relationship. And the most important relationship is my relationship with myself. So I wanted to live my life with my whole heart without hiding. That's how I came out of the course. And as soon as I knew that I was worthy of being loved, everything started taking off again. Since completing the course, people have been asking me, why are you so happy? And for me, happiness is a natural state. I don't need a reason to be happy. There doesn't need to be a certain set of circumstances. Just happiness is where I'm at. I'm a happy person. So I reached out and reconnected with a lot of friends I hadn't spoken to, some for up to 45 years. I've reunited with family members from whom I became estranged, including my older sister. And I make it a point now to remember people's birthdays and to contact them, which I hadn't been doing. And at work, I received the highest performance rating possible, and very much appreciated that. I'm now a regular lap swimmer. Currently swim always at least a half a mile, sometimes up to 3/4 of a mile per session. And my life is more about other people and much less about me. So the way that I track that and how I'm doing on communicating is I look at my phone bill. And I have a graph now at home, and I watch the graph. And if the graph goes up, that's a good thing. That's the right direction, because it means I'm out there communicating. I love the person I see in the mirror. I'm sharing that person with everybody I know. I've pulled up my landing gear. I'm not looking for the runway. It's throttle up, and I'm enjoying life.
Thank you, George. That's a beautiful story, and it's an honor to know you, frankly. You and your wife, Marcy, just two fantastic, wonderful people, and great examples of what we're all about here at Choice Center, which is really developing that personal awareness of our own feelings and how those relate to our goals, whether they be professional or personal, and really help us identify what's working in our life and how we can expand upon that and the things that are really making us successful right now, and also taking a look at what isn't working for us and what we'd like to improve on and how to deal with those in a new and impactful way that can really change our lives and the lives of the people around us, the family and friends that we know and love. So it's wonderful to hear you, George. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, our next caller is a husband and wife team from what is probably a frozen evening, I think more in the mid-Atlantic. Gary Wasserson, are you on the phone?
Yes, Ellen and I are on the phone.
Hey, Gary.
Hi, Ken.
Ellen. How are you? Go ahead.
Hi.
We're great, and good evening, everybody. So, Ellen, you want to start?
Okay, sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Ellen. I'm age 57. I'm an architect and an artist. And our son is the person who inspired us to go to Choice and take part in the program. We had seen the changes in him and he asked us if we thought maybe it would be good for us, and we said, yes, why not? Let's see what we can do. I mean, let's try it. So I started thinking about why I wanted to go, and I realized that I needed some deeper, stronger communication with my kids and my husband and my father. I was feeling kind of lonely. I had a good relationship with them, but it just wasn't satisfying. It wasn't deep enough. And I realized I'd really been doing for them and doing for everybody else in my life, but I never really concentrated on what I needed and what I wanted. So as a result of the program, I realized that I could ask for what I wanted, and I did. I got great results, and my relationship with everybody is much stronger, much more satisfying, wonderful communication, and then seeing how Gary made changes was really inspiring to me as well, and we both became so energized. He got back to the guy that I originally married that had sort of gotten lost along the way, and it's just been one big happy family. Everybody's really going in the same direction with great communication, and it's a wonderful, satisfying relationship.
And I'm Gary Wasserson. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm 57 years old. I am a professional businessman, and I am so happy, so thrilled that I listened to my son. Eric is an incredible kid who never communicated in more than one or two words with us. How you doing? Good. What are you doing tonight? Nothing. You know, the typical response that we get from our kids. And he went through Choice. All of a sudden, we're getting, great conversations from him, very deep discussions. And when he asked me and Ellen if we would do it, I felt strong enough that I trusted him that within 2 seconds of him requesting, I said yes. And we did it. And boy, am I glad we did. The changes for me are pretty simple. I have come to the realization that the most important person in this world, in terms of inner strength, is your own being. It's me. It's my ability to have the inner strength that gives me the capability to support the people I love and the people around me who expect support from me on a regular basis. So in building my inner core, my strength, my emotional intelligence, I have been able to rise up and really meet the needs of my wife, my children, and the relationships have never been better. In fact, I just had dinner with my dad, a 3-hour dinner. I haven't spoken to him in a period of years, and I've reconnected. And it's just a wonderful experience. And Ellen and I are so grateful that we've had the opportunity to do this. Our daughter, Laura, will be attending the next session, and our family will be complete through the Choice program within the next couple of months.
That's awesome. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ellen and Gary. It's absolutely fantastic to watch Eric and then you guys, and I can't wait to meet your daughter go through the process. That'll be a fantastic experience for you. Thank you so much for sharing tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Our next group of speakers are who just finished going through the breakthrough session. We have 2 different sessions for personal development, discovery, and breakthrough, and then we transition from that into leadership, which for these folks starts next week. And so I'm looking for Matt Damadeo.
That's Damadeo, Ken.
Thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate it.
How are you?
Very well, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, I guess where to start, as you said, I am just I'm looking forward to the leadership portion of the program that's about to come. And I guess if there's anything to say, when I was told about Choice, I was intrigued by the concept of emotional intelligence. I would generally say I'm very happy with my life. I have a wife. I live in California. Business, I do 2 things for money, basically. I am a professional poker player, and I also do sales and management as a partner in a software company, which, last few years I haven't been very happy with. And I've always been intrigued by the concept of living in the present moment. For many things that I do, the first 10-second reaction, that feeling, how you react, living on automatic, is
sometimes that'll govern my life. And just as fear or ego would, sometimes consume you, and emotions make decisions for me. Not all the time, but some of the times. And recently, one of these things was some pretty big decisions where I felt I did not make the right one. And I was very interested about harnessing the power of emotional intelligence. And I wanted to be a better leader. So I came here, and I've only been through discovery and breakthrough. And obviously leadership, we're finally getting to the part that I really came from. But I have already taken an enormous amount. And just to share a story that my coach had asked me to share was, I always had this philosophy that I would accumulate, and I'm a very generous person, I am. But I always felt that I wanted to take care of my wife's mother and certain family members, and I've always felt that I needed to basically accumulate a lot of stuff first, and then I would take care of all of them. And mainly it was financially, buy the mother a house, help my wife's mother with this, and so on. And Choice has really given me a vision of how it's capable to help people by helping themselves, and that I should start doing it right away. And I saw an individual in a mall, and he was sitting there, and I generally don't have a hard time approaching people, but in a particular case, this man was very cold, and I was basically intimidated. He looked unhappy. He was sitting by himself. And I decided to go over to him, and I asked him if I could join him for lunch. And he said, yes, as long as you're not a weirdo. So we sit down, and we're talking, and he's just trying to figure me out, of course. What are you selling? What do you want, et cetera? And I said, I know this sounds crazy, but if you believe in the power of giving back, I said, recently I had the blessing of being given something that I wanted to share with the universe by giving back. I said, so I'd like to sit down with you just for lunch, and ask you what you wanted to do for 2014, what your goals and commitments were. And the guy was going back and forth, and at one point he had said a few comments. There's not enough time to indulge, but I said, you know what, I'm going to give honest feedback to him. As hard as it's going to be honest feedback because it was a negative connotation, I said, I'm going to ask him if I can share something with him. And he said, yes. I said, well, based on everything you told me, I said, you come across to me, I feel you're very, very judgmental. How has that ever affected you in your life? And he stopped dead in his tracks. And he went from telling me he had to go to work in 1 minute to having a whole conversation, thanking me, saying that I was right. He started pointing out areas in his life where it's affecting him. He says, you know what, as of right now, I am going to commit to not being judgmental. And I basically told him, I love that commitment. And he said, I want you to call me. I said I'd call him in 30 days and ask him if he's honoring his commitment and is he moving forward to eliminate that part of himself. And he was thrilled. And I could tell when I left that first he wanted to talk even more, and that I had done something good to a total stranger. And it was just about giving back. And so this was one very, very powerful thing. It really affected an individual on a way I just never would have attempted before. And the other thing is the power of intention. Immediately after, 5 days after Choice, I sat with my wife and said, I have a clarity and a calmness about myself that I just feel clear. Like fear and emotions are running through me. That I recognize them. I know I can't eliminate them, but I do feel that I'm gaining strength in controlling them. I said, I feel this would be a wonderful time to go and play in one of my poker tournaments. 5 days after Choice, I entered a poker tournament and won the $1 million guarantee. In 2 days, with 7,000 entries, I took first. And it cannot be a coincidence that this particular tournament on this particular day happened immediately after, and this is actually right after Discovery. The first story I shared was after Breakthrough. But I have a long way to go. I do. I am not a graduate, and I'm going through leadership, and I'm truly looking forward to it. But I have been taking little things along the way that are impacting me in every part of my life. And I really look forward to where it's going to be, 100 days from now, 6 months from now. I'm truly excited. So I've already benefited tremendously. And in ways I didn't intend on benefiting initially. So I thought I would share that with you today.
Well, thank you so much, man. We appreciate that, and we look forward to your next great accomplishment. That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Our next speaker on the line tonight is a woman named Angie Amico. also from LV136, just completing her breakthrough. Angie, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you doing?
Great, Angie. How are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, well, let me just go ahead and get started. My name is Angie. I'm 35, and I own a counseling and behavioral health center here in Las Vegas. Essentially, I feel I'm just going to echo everyone else. I started off, joining this leadership program as that. I thought it was going to be a leadership. I own a company. Let me go ahead and hone in on those skills. Never did I imagine the process and the transformation that I would be going through and, discovering myself and reconnecting with myself. I've always been told that I'm a very powerful woman, and it's been very superficial, like, I'm very giving, but I give too much of myself, and thinking that, focusing on myself would be selfish, but realizing that really my power comes from within, and owning that has opened so many doors already since discovery and breakthrough. Just this last Monday, I was given some, news that normally would have devastated me, but I was able to remain calm and process and realize that this is not personal. It's not about me. That person was going through their own process and what they needed to do. And I was able to overcome that rather quickly and just not allowing them to steal my joy and steal my power. And I think that was huge on the personal end. Professionally speaking, I'm not much for rejection. So, but I'm putting myself out there. I'm, making connections and contacts with people that I normally would have not done had it not been for choice. It's like those fears and anxieties and, I still have them, as Matt was saying, they're still there, but I'm able to recognize them and say, no, this is not how my story's going to end. I'm going to, pull through and push through and make this connection. So, just even been through discovery and breakthrough, I just cannot tell you the changes, my life is already going through. And I'm extremely excited to go through leadership because if they say it's more, I can't even imagine how much happier I can be.
That's awesome, Angie. Thank you so much. It's you clearly have passion and excitement in your voice. We can hear it, and I think it's going to be a powerful weekend for you, so congratulations. Our next caller is also from LV136, just completing breakthrough. Virginia Warner. Virginia, are you on the phone?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Go ahead, Virginia.
Okay, my name is Virginia Warner. I'm 37 years old, and I just graduated from nursing school and just recently got my RN license. And I am in Las Vegas. And I wish I could say I was like Gary and Laura and easily enrolled into the program, but my husband went before me, and I was a huge skeptic. I actually did go in, he was in 133, and I'm in 136, so it took him a while to enroll me. But I have to say that after just the 8 days that I've been through discovery and breakthrough, that I am happier and more alive and more in love with life than I ever have been. And I can truly say that I've never felt this way about life before. I guess I didn't ever think there was anything really wrong or missing in my life before this program, but I can truly say that I was not living life aware with my eyes opened, with my heart opened. And what it has done for me, it's deepened my relationship with myself and my husband. It has increased my awareness and it has improved my self-confidence. And this has actually translated for me into the ability to be open, honest, and loving with not only my family, but also with my fellow ChoiceCenter classmates, all 103 of them. And me and my husband are more in love than we ever have been. And I really am truly seeing my 19-year-old daughter in a way that's so different than I was seeing her before, and seeing her wants, her needs, her goals, her feelings, and loving her in an even more pure and authentic way than I ever have before. So it really has translated to love for me, love for myself, and love for life, and love for everyone around me. And it's been truly a gift for me and my family.
Beautiful. Thank you, Virginia. And I'm glad he finally won you over.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Our last caller of the night is a gentleman who is calling in from about as geographically far from Las Vegas as you possibly can. I understand that we have Daniel Negreanu on the phone from Australia. Daniel, are you on the phone?
I am here.
Hey, Daniel.
Hello, everybody. I'm doing great. I just want to jump right in and say my name is Daniel Negreanu, as Ken told you. 39 years old, live in Las Vegas, but down in Australia right now, and really appreciate the opportunity to share with some of you kind of my experience and where I was before I went into the course. I was already in a place where, based on society's perception of what success is, I had all that. I had enough money to be financially stable. I had the freedom to travel if I wanted to. Basically, when someone said, well, you don't need it, you don't need is the wrong word. It's really just a way to enhance your life. And in terms of tangible results for mine, they're pretty amazing. I mean, in the poker world, it's become a young man's game. The top 30 players in the world when I got in were all under the age of 28. I'm 39. So everyone told me that it was too late. You're done. I was atop of the poker world back in 2004, but, it's time to accept it. And I started to believe that. Thanks to the, what I got out of Choice, which the number one thing I say is the confidence in myself. Not only did I crack the top 30, I became the number one player in the world again. I won the World Series of Poker Player of the Year, $3.5 million on top of that, and really just, owned my power, if you will, in terms of believing that I could do it. And I didn't realize until I went through discovery, the breakthrough, the leadership, there was an event in my life. There was a girl who broke my heart. Aw, poor me, right? And that actually had an impact on my confidence in everything that I did. So once I was able to work through that and see that, understand that was a source of it, break through it and let it go, I was able to really kind of, be the player and have the confidence in what I've always been able to do. Outside of just from like a, career perspective, I had physical goals. I've always been a skinny guy, and I always said, I want to work out. I'd love to have but I never did it. I couldn't figure out why. And then, thanks to leadership, really, which cements home, you keeping your word to yourself and really getting it done. I'm the strongest I've ever been. When I started, I couldn't do one pull-up, let alone like two. And now I'm up to about 8. And I plan on being in the best shape of my life for my 40th birthday, so I'm well on my way there. My brother and I, that's all I have left, my parents have both passed, we're closer than we've ever been. We're very different. He's a, big, strong, silent type. I'm quite the opposite, but I've learned to appreciate him for who he is and look past the things that maybe annoy me. Everyone has a brother or someone in their family that annoys you, but I look past that and really just love him for who he is. And outside of that, there's so many beautiful things I could tell you about in terms of what we did in leadership. Our class, we were tasked with raising money for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And in 1 week, we did the impossible. We raised $280,000 for those kids. And I learned that throughout this course, what I really wanted was love. I just wanted to, be loved and be in love. And I found that I experienced love through giving it, by doing things like that and just by, being a better brother to my brother, being a better friend and having closer, deeper relationships. And all the people around me in my life basically have gone. And I know this works because I've seen it in other people's lives. And that's why I'm so excited to share it. I talk publicly about it all the time. Sometimes people don't get it and are a little skeptical, and I get that. But I know it works. I've seen it work in my life and all the lives around me. And when I tell people, but I say it's simply this, worst case scenario, you have a few weekends, you're like, didn't do much for you. But what if this is really the thing that is a vehicle to get you wherever you want to be a little bit faster? And worst case scenario is a couple weekends you don't enjoy, but best case scenario, you're closer to living your dreams and on your way to success. So that's me. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you so much, Daniel, and good luck.
Thank you.
So thanks to all of our graduates who spoke tonight. That's what we're all about at ChoiceCenter, is taking all of this that you've just learned in 100 days and transforming your relationship with yourself, with those around you, and how you move forward in your life so that you really author what it is that you want to live in the terms of your own life. And so our next training goes in February 27th. That's in 22 days. If you have any questions, you can certainly ask the person who invited you to the phone call tonight. or you can go to our website at www.choicecenter.com. And as our gift to you all for participating in the phone call tonight, you can sign up for a free coaching session with one of our coaches at the center.